He was a guy who flew in from New York. He was looking.
And we love you, Superman.
En 2025, un nouvel acteur poursuivra l'aventure de Superman, celle d'un héros super positif, venu sur Terre pour inspirer à l'homme l'envie de se dépasser.
And we love you, Superman.
En 2025, un nouvel acteur poursuivra l'aventure de Superman, celle d'un héros super positif, venu sur Terre pour inspirer à l'homme l'envie de se dépasser.
Can you hear me now, Austin? I think you can. Well, I was just saying that these people looked as silly as I did for the past 5 minutes with the microphone being off. So, yeah. I think the footage speaks for itself, even if I can't. So, yeah. No sound. Hope you can hear me now. Yeah, I was having computer issues. I always wind up with the computer issues. And me being muted is no longer an issue. So yeah, we've got AI footage here basically, and face swapping technology being used, and AI AI footage that was derived from still images. I mean, it's amazing what can be done outside of Hollywood these days. So it's kind of groovy, I think. But they did look pretty proud of themselves for snagging this footage. You can tell that was Henry Cavill right there. So, enough of that. Are you guys looking forward to the new Superman movie coming out? Or is that something that you think should fail pro wrestling? Because there seems to be two crowds out there. And, yay, Austin can hear me, man. You should put a link in the comments there for your short film that's available on YouTube right now. Austin and a lot of his friends got together and they made a short film that is inspired by Scream, I believe. So give it a look and give it a like and share it with all of your friends and family that enjoy top-notch gore. So, yeah, let's do that. Reach out. I had also found this pretty interesting. Marvel Studios' Blade was removed from 2025 schedule, and Disney dates Predator Badlands instead. So that's going to be coming out instead of the Blade movie that has yet to be made. Did you have any hopes, Charles, of the Blade movie being made at all, or were you just thinking maybe they weren't going to make it at all and they were just stringing everybody along?
Well, since Deadpool, I would imagine Wesley Snipes is still an option. So, the story behind Blade and Mahershala Ali just not happening is tragic. But we've seen Wesley Snipes' Blade recently, so go on back to it.
I think that they gave Mahershala Ali pretty darn good, if not full creative control, a good portion of it, and he gets to say yay or nay to the script, I believe. So when the script came down the pipeline of Blade and Blade's daughter kind of taking over, and upwards of maybe 2 fight scenes in the whole thing, he was not happy with that, and they wouldn't go forward with that. Of course, you've also got the fact that there was a writer's strike, there was COVID, there was a bunch of other things leading up to the point where they could have made a fantastic film had they continued to work on it the way they wanted to. But I don't think Blade was the end goal of the Blade movie. I think Blade's daughter was the goal of the end movie. I think a Young Avengers is working out to not be the Young Avengers, but the replacement Avengers. So, with Mahershala Ali being as old as he is, they were looking to do the Batman Nightwing thing with him and his daughter. He's not happy with it, and they can't get him to do that, so they're going to delay this until he gives up and breaks his contract and leaves the project. And then they're going to go into.
He's getting on in age. You said it. The reason they didn't want like that Wesley Snipes is out of the question was because he was older than 40. How old do you think Mahershala Ali is now? Like, if 40s is out of the question for an action star, then better go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. Oh, are you there? What happened? Let's do that.
I'm here.
There you go. Yeah. So they did that. They announced that it was done indefinitely, and then they announced that they were going to do 3 more titles to be released in 2028. And I believe they are also tentatively scheduled to be delayed in 2026.
I can't wait until a lot of these big $250 million projects just fall flat so that they have to go back and then make movies the way they did in the 90s and just make one and hope it does well. Remember those days when you were surprised by a sequel?
We got a whole article on rosalescomics.com/Sunday that talks about how they can go back to the 90s and produce these smaller TV shows, at least. Because, it also came out this week that Secret Invasion cost almost $500 million to produce these 8 or 9 episodes.
You cut out. Secret Invasion cost how much?
It cost about $500 million to produce the 8 or 9 episodes that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And that was due to a lot of the reshoots and everything else that happened on that. But there comes a point where you're gonna have to have some kind of return on your investments.
I don't know. They have very good attorneys and people that can make money look like it's in different places.
Yes, they do that a lot, and that's part of what they're doing with the Blade is moving the goalpost and the financials.
Yeah.
They're putting it in a different place.
Oh, we can't possibly make money. All right, well, let's see it. Well, you just have to take my word for it. We don't have the money.
They moved Moana 2, which was a Moana TV show, off of streaming to trim the prices on what was being spent on streaming, and made it a theatrical feature. But that's a sleight of hand that only works so much.
That's a Hulu trick, though, isn't it? Isn't that to make the Hulu thing a bit more or less valuable looking? Wait, I'm
Well,
not using my
it
brain
does.
properly right now.
What it does is it reduces the amount of money being spent on that particular segment of entertainment. So you got the direct to consumer TV, direct to consumer products, I think is what it's called. For sure. I'm
Mhm.
not sure, but they got that, and that includes the broadcast channels, the YouTube channels, the cable channels, and the direct streaming channels, which
The
also includes Hulu.
WWWs.
Yeah, so they don't own Hulu outright, but it does count towards their numbers.
Well, weren't they trying to inflate the value for the longest time for
Yes.
sales purposes or merger purposes?
And now they're trying to devalue it because they have to now pay the piper
Yeah.
and buy the
So
rest of it.
suddenly, everything that was going on streaming is disappearing. Oh, we don't
Yeah.
have that anymore.
Yeah, like the next Predator movie.
Yeah, I would force them to whatever their paperwork they use to support their valuation. I would force them to go ahead with that. Like, hey, all right, this is what it's worth, right? Okay.
Well, they're already in the arbitration phase where they have their numbers, and I think it was Universal put in their numbers, and they didn't come quite together, and so now there's a non-biased third party looking at the package, and it's going to come somewhere in the middle. And I think they're looking at maybe 32 billion, maybe. You know, Austin, do you know how much Disney's going to pay for Hulu?
I thought they already paid for it.
Well, they bought some of it. When they bought
I could be wrong.
Fox, when they bought Fox, they bought their share, and now there's
Okay.
just one share left that they agreed to pay and to buy at the market price. And Hulu is the only streaming service right now that is actually making money from its business model. Just
Netflix.
Interesting.
Okay,
Netflix
Netflix.
Well,
technically
Netflix
is-
as well, yeah.
For a long time, though, Hulu was the top dog. Netflix is now up there, and
Well, Hulu makes sense too because of all the deals they have for next day shows and stuff. Hulu is the reason why a lot of people left cable. They said, "That's fine. I don't need to watch it at prime time. I can wait till the next day
Mhm.
yeah.
and cut their satellite, cut their cable costs." I mean, that's what we did.
And now everybody's scrambling because they're all upwards of $75 a month now.
They're doing this. They're like inverting the whole cutting the cord process.
Exactly.
Everyone's doing their own $25 thing. It's like, hey, guess what? I'll pay $100 and just have all the channels again. Thanks.
Exactly right. Which is now why you're seeing the bundles, right? You know, HBO, Disney, and Hulu and whatever. Which are, I mean, that's a good bundle. You get three of the main
for $25 or something like that. 20 or something?
$25, and then
Yeah.
another 25 for Netflix,
Yeah, like
and then
congratulations, you milked it for
15
5
for
years.
Prime. Exactly. Yeah.
$25 to remove commercials. So
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Even more to remove commercials. Let's see. I'm trying to think. With all that I have, because then I have Prime for $14.99. Then there's Peacock for $6.99. Apple TV for $9.99.
oh, you're gonna love this, by the way. You're gonna love this. Let me just
boy.
interject real quick. If you've bought films on digital on
Uh-oh.
Amazon, it's not a real purchase. It is a long-term lease agreement. Okay, that can disappear as soon as the contracts disappear between Amazon and the distributor. So
Motherfuckers.
From my cold dead hands.
There you go.
there you go. This is why we talk about building up your media library on Sunday.
Absolutely.
So we do that
Absolutely.
every Sunday. We talk, well, not every Sunday, but most Sundays we talk about what's coming up the next week, and a lot of times it's shite, and so we don't talk about it. But last week there was a really good number of movies that came out this week that you could really add to your collection. So Austin, tell the people about your film, though.
I did a short film. We kind of shot it over the course of about a month or so. Just thought we wanted to put something out for spooky season for Halloween. And a friend of mine, got some inspiration from the Scream franchise, as well as a couple other horror inspirations in there. There's some Saw inspirations and a couple others. But yeah, so we just kind of put this thing together, and it's not the craziest best script or anything, but I'm really proud of it. I really am. I think it's fun. It's very much in the spirit of Scream and those movies, and we did it. I'm very proud of like the fact that we did it we shot it in about a week total, and then put it together and everything, and so yeah, I'm really happy with how it came out. It was a really fun experience, and
you and your whole team should be very proud of yourselves, because you did the one thing the Blade production team couldn't do, and that's make a movie.
We did. We're almost at 1,000 views on
Nice.
YouTube, about 950 or so, and so yeah, that was a lot of fun. And now we're on to the next project. I'm on my way to the 48-hour film project Mixer here in Vegas. So got a cast put together.
Good place to start, and make your thinking piece, if you will. Take what you do there, and then finish the project. Get another thing under your belt. But look at how you can maybe redo it and expand on it and add a framework to it.
It's also where you can.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it's also where you kind of figure out what your specialty is, because you have so little time.
So
you figure out what you're comfortable with. Yeah.
I did the 48 8 years ago. Things have obviously changed, and then here in Vegas, the guys that won last year.
A 9-year-old do it.
Hey, I may not look it, but I'm almost 30. Okay.
Almost. The tragedy.
But yeah, so the winners from last year went all the way. You go to the Cannes Film Festival, and so they went all the way there, and so this year there's like 40 local teams competing. It's a big deal. We're kind of the underdogs, but we went in. There was a big audition last week where like 50 local actors auditions, and we got the best ones, so we got that to brag about. But,
did you get Neil Breen to read for you?
Oh man, a guy came in that looked like him, and I was like, oh please be undercover, please be undercover, trying to get in on this. I'm shocked he doesn't have his own team. He couldn't make a film. Well, you know what? He could. I should not say that. He could absolutely make a movie in 48 hours. It might even be his best work. But yeah. So I enjoy the experience of it. You learn so much in such a short time, and it's just it's a lot of fun. It's a good way, like you said, to kind of get our names out in the local scene here, and then we've got a couple projects lined up after. I like going to the mixers and stuff because you get to meet other local filmmakers you might do a project with, or team up with later. So yeah, it's a really good experience. I recommend it to everybody.
I always try to surround myself with people who know more than I do. I know that sounds like a Kamala Harris quote, but what I don't know about sound, somebody else does, and usually they have the they can bring to the small budget, thing. Hire a sound person. That sound person's got their own gear. Yeah, they're going to bring it to the table. Hire an experienced lighting guy. They may have access to a truck somewhere.
Exactly.
Stuff. If not, there's plenty of local places that'll rent to you. Yeah.
And the beauty of something like the 48 is it's all volunteer. So if you have those contacts, this is the perfect time to get a hold of them, because you don't have to pay, and you can really make something really of good quality. You can build a relationship, with them for future projects and stuff, and maybe not pay as much. So there's always, I also have
lots of cinematographers out there that have their own cameras, and there's lots of directors that really like to buy lenses, and so you can find kind of put them together, and hopefully they have adapters so they can work out.
Yeah,
I
there's
know.
some teams working with some really good camera. We're working with the Sony A7S 2, and so, but there's some teams working with like Sony FX3s and renting out equipment and going all out. So but it's more than just a look. It's about editing. It's about sound. It's about again. I'm really happy with the actors. We got some really like powerhouse dramatic actors, and they can kind of do it all.
One of the things I like to do, this is a tip, it's not for everybody, I'll give you that. But a tip that I do is after we shoot a scene, gather everybody around the microphone and have them do the scene as if it's a radio play right in front of the microphone. Okay? Because the microphones can fail. If you can put labs on everybody, but it may not catch everybody, and there's varying qualities. So if you can get them to do the scene just right after the one take that you like, and then record the audio there, you have a backup to fit in the editing. If you can't get them back for a full-on ADR, so which is what you really want to do afterwards. If the audio is bad, you really want them to come back in and do the ADR. But if you can't, then you've got this as kind of a fail-safe.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm always worried about audio. We're going to be using lavs and a boom, so I'm going back up for both. I want, like you said, I'm audio and probably lighting are two of my big concerns always, just when it comes to filmmaking.
And as long as you get a clean plate on all of your static shots, you can go back and remove the boom if it pops into a shot that you really enjoy. So if you have to come back to it, you don't have to give that up if you got a clean plate to work with. And you can do VFX where it seems like it wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah, hopefully we don't get like sci-fi or anything and have to go all on, but that would be.
You're kind of subject to whatever
whatever we pitch.
Says,
whatever
it lands on.
I go to pick it out of a hat next Friday.
What's the last thing you worked on, Charles?
Sorry?
What's the last thing you worked on?
As far as
filmmaking, TV shows, or whatever?
A comedy.
In front of or behind the scenes, whichever one.
Behind it was a comedy.
Nice.
Did it get released?
No.
It died in development hell?
Yeah, I walked away.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, then, good for you, sir.
Well, it never happened, so it's not like I was the glue holding it together.
Yeah,
right.
Or maybe I was.
I got a credit right now on IMDb that isn't real anymore because the production fell through.
That's fun.
Yeah. And it's still showing in production. Yeah, so it's
hopefully I did a film with Vince Vaughn earlier this year called Easy's Waltz. It was
nice.
Directed by Nick Palazzo, the guy that did the first season of True Detective.
Wow.
But really, I should say it was directed by Vince Vaughn. So we'll see how that movie turns out. Vince Vaughn, phenomenal. Nick,
We were going to bring in an Italian director by the name of Al Capone for a mob movie, and it was going to be glorious just to have a mob movie directed by Al Capone. That was going to look nice on the card.
Hell yeah, right?
But, speaking of doing things for spooky season, I did something for spooky season, and nice. It'll lead right into the next topic if we can just spend a couple of minutes checking this out.
Absolutely.
So let me pause this music here so it doesn't drain over. There we go. And let's have a look.
Jimmy was a guy who flew in from New York. He was looking for some fun. He landed in Tokyo, neon lights that blow till the sirens started to run. Run back! back. Run back to where you once belonged. Run back. Run back to where you once belonged. Run back, Jimmy. Susan saw the beast as it towered over streets, and she thought she had to hide. Running through the alleyways, harder than a craze, crossing paths with Jimmy who's by her side. Run back, run back, run back to where you once belonged. Run back, run back, run back to where you once belonged. Run back. Suzu, neon lights are flashing.
It's a little bit silly.
Who's what?
Hey, silly?
Who's Suzu
Silly's
and
not bad.
Vinny?
It's Jimmy and Suzu.
I don't get it.
No, it's a silly thing. That's what it is.
But they're Godzilla.
Yes. Unfortunately, Godzilla didn't make the footage I need for this music video. But the story is about a guy who goes to... it's basically the first Godzilla movie, I guess. Guy goes to Tokyo. Godzilla attacks.
Uh-huh.
And everybody runs from him.
They all die.
And they all
Love it.
And they all die. Yes. Run
Love
back. Jimmy and the Kaiju is what that's called. So I was making these nutty songs for Halloween parties is what I was doing. Things that haven't already been done, but we're kind of different. Like you've got your basic classics, your Monster Mash, and Pennsylvania Twist.
Oh, okay.
Well, what would be different? Well,
A
a
Godzilla
song
one.
about a kaiju. A song about
Now,
Godzilla.
I like the name as a band name, Jimmy and the Kaijus. I think that's phenomenal. That would work perfectly.
Yes, they don't play on Fridays.
No, we don't play on Fridays, and we don't play in Japan.
Yes. We don't travel.
Yeah.
We don't travel. They've got a bus, so
We have a
have a bus.
and they're all in those like kind of dinosaur puff up Halloween suits, everybody gets into, and big velociraptor.
And
Make it Godzilla looking.
I used the AI to do that song, and it's kind of catchy, sort of a 1960s kind of Flower Child transitional period piece, where you're going from the really groovy doo-wop era to the more Flower Child kind of movement, It's
Right.
got a feel to it. And
It does. It's got a groove.
well, that's about the time that they were doing these kaiju movies, and they were doing a lot of kaiju movies. I mean, a lot of kaiju movies,
Mm-hmm.
and some of which people recognize, some of which don't. So, but I did a song about a giant gorilla in New York and the woman that loves him. I don't have that one on tap, by the way.
I wasn't prepared.
I wasn't prepared for that one. That's it was a good song, I think. And I did one about a mummy and the woman that loves him, a vampire and the woman that loves him, and a werewolf and the woman that loves him, and zombie and the woman that loves him.
Barbara?
That's
Going
wonderful.
to get Barbara.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Is that playing? It's not playing, is it? Is there any...
Well, with that, guys, I do have to get going here.
Well, thanks for being
Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry it was so short.
here. Too bad you didn't get to do the monster tier that we were getting to.
The Monster Mash.
It's the non-Godzilla kaiju tier list.
Okay. Non-Godzilla. Kong is
But
King Kong a kaiju?
he is technically a kaiju, but he's
What
one of the
makes
more
kaiju kaiju?
Yeah. What define kaiju?
define kaiju. I don't have a definition for kaiju. I think
Giant
it's
shit that walks around in the streets?
Giant.
a monster. Yes, it's just basically a big monster.
So Stay Puft Marshmallow Man's a kaiju.
Yes, he is technically
This
a kaiju.
is silly.
This is. What is this madness?
Very silly. We want to know what you think in the comments. Are kaiju silly or not? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll take it under advisement. Who's your favorite non-Godzilla or King Kong kaiju? We've got from left to right. We've got who that? Who is that? Let me see.
Alrighty, guys. We'll talk to you a bit later.
Thank you for
easy,
coming.
Buffy.
Of course, man.
We will see you on the flip side there.
Peace.
We got Q, the winged serpent. We got Reptilicus, Young Gary, Gamera, Rigo, and Rhaegar as a pair. Gorgo,
His and her.
Pet Star, which isn't pronounced Pet Star, and Polgaris, Dagora, and Gappa. So these are the ones I was fortunate enough to find.
What? I've heard of 0 of these.
Well, Q the Winged Serpent is let me read it here. The Aztec god Quetzalcoatl, a winged reptilian monster that takes up residence in the Art Deco spire of the Chrysler Building with frequent jaunts in the midday sun to devour various helpless New Yorkers on the rooftops. The resulting bloody mess confounds detectives Shepard and Powell, who already occupied with a case involving a series of bizarre ritual murders linked to a secret neo-Aztec cult. This film was filmed guerrilla style in New York. So no licenses to put cameras anywhere. And whenever you see a crowd on the streets, they're just there doing their thing.
They didn't sign releases.
No, nobody signed releases. So it's it's a stop motion puppet is what it is.
Oh.
So based on that and knowing it's an indie film from the 70s, I know not the 60s, a little late. Where do you think it should go? Is it a D tier list? Most of these should be D tier.
Yeah, what am I just going on the description or like?
Yes, just going on the description from what you know. And if that's all you know.
In theory, it could be good. In principle, in execution, it could be atrocious.
Yes. Well, it was closer to that last one. I don't think it's I don't think he could take on Godzilla or King Kong. I'm gonna put it to you that way. It would not survive a battle between other kaijus because it's just a dragon.
But it lives in the Chrysler Building. That's
yes, and it laid eggs.
Pretty big.
Very big. Very big.
At least based on just hearing, I would say C or B.
C or B. Let me see. There we go. Ha, I said, let me see. Hang on a second. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to switch up here real quick and do something. Ooh, we got some big heads there, don't we? Did you watch Quetzalcoatl or Q, the winged serpent?
I have not.
Out there in TV land, let us know what you thought of it. Yeah. Oop. It's Screen Factory now has it available. So let's take a look at the trailer. That'll give you some idea.
I got
So
some
that's
second unit stuff.
yeah. There's a lot of B-roll in here that looks
Mm.
really, really good. This was back when they could actually use helicopters instead of drones, and so this was a good $150 at least
Hmm.
to pay for the Manhattan tour. You know, you pay for the Manhattan Sky tour, and then you sneak that camera, that 8mm camera out, and take your home movies of New York skyline. Uh-oh.
Oh, get the tops. That what? No, it's
Oh
starting to
my
fall
goodness,
apart.
he used editing. He got her through editing. So she was sunbathing, and yeah, there was going to be no tan lines in that particular scene. By the way, if you're watching the movies, hey guys, I'll try to join you next week. Hope you guys are having a good night. Well, you know what? Everybody's busy this week, and that's fine. We it can always be a faster one this week than the next time. But yes, if you're not feeling better, Cole, then feel better. If you've
Hmm.
got some place to be, I am glad you're being social and have a great time. The window washer gets it.
Oh, is that what that was? Oh yeah. Yep. Oh no.
He rules. There's a good still shot of the combination B-roll and stop motion and rear photography. I'm trying not to get dinged by YouTube, by the way. That's what.
Mm. Is that who I think it is?
Michael Moriarty from The Stuff. Yes, that's him.
Hmm.
This is like an all-star cast in New York.
Yeah.
David Carradine, Richard Roundtree, Moriarty. I mean, there was a lot of people who, for some reason or another, needed to make rent. If I could have got to the soundboard, I would have done that and got a chuckle out of it. I wonder if this was before or after she did American Graffiti. Do you remember her from American Graffiti?
No.
You don't? Oh.
No.
Yeah, she was there. You know what? They're giving away the whole movie in this.
Yeah, there's a lot of like just chewing up time shots.
Yeah, and again, they've given away the whole film with this trailer. So it was there. They went after it. It was prayed into existence. The cops were looking for him, and they just kind of walked around a whole lot. David Carradine phoned it in, basically. So yeah, I think C's a good place for it. So next up is Reptilicus.
Uh-huh.
Nothing about you don't know about Reptilicus? Let me tell
I
you.
told you I know none of these. A nice round 0. I know none of them.
Copenhagen is terrorized by a prehistoric beast that has regenerated itself from a recently discovered tail segment.
Ooh, Gubenhound.
Gupenhound?
Yeah, that's how you say Copenhagen in Danish.
Oh, really?
Mm.
They speak Danish in Copenhagen?
Yeah, it's Denmark.
Well, there you go. What do they speak?
Unless there's another Copenhagen. I don't know. There's how many Yorks?
What do they speak in Germany? German? What do they call Germany in German? Is it Deutschland?
Deutschland.
But they don't speak Dutch.
Yeah, they speak Deutsch.
I thought they spoke German. Yeah, this was a really bad movie and a really bad monster. Um, it's going to go there unless you
Oh,
want to move it.
I please use your experience well.
Let's see what's next. Young Gary. Young Gary is a bipedal reptile with a long horn on his snout, tusks on the side of his mouth, and a single row of dorsal plates similar to Godzilla's dorsal fins, but shorter. He has red glowing eyes and spikes on his tail, similar to a stegosaurus. And apparently, from this thumbnail, he breathes fire, which is nothing the other two do. So, what do you think? Where do you think it sits? Uh, maybe,
breathing fire. If they could pull it off, it'd be pretty impressive.
yeah, I think they can.
B.
Let's try that. I wonder if there's a Young Gary uh, trailer.
Young Gary, Young Ross.
Glenn Ross.
Oh
Oh,
no,
he-
is that it? Oh no, I changed my mind. No, it's Reptar. No, that is Reptar
Reptar.
from Rugrats.
Oh.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. Mm.
oh, okay. So Gamera is up next, and Gamera is the protector of children. Okay.
Oh no.
Gamera is a kaiju originating from a series of Japanese films debuting in 1965. The giant monster, the character, and the first film were intended to compete with the success of Toho's Godzilla. So I'm going to put you right here for just a second until we come back to you. Um, you got to get a visual on this here, I think. And not this new stuff either. There we go. So here we see on the opposing monster, the young boy sitting on there, and Gamera, the protector of children, is going to try to rescue him. Now, Gamera, if you didn't know, is it's a it's a turtle. He is a turtle that fights these monsters. Oh, that's not a good picture of. That's not a good picture of. That's a better picture of him right there. He doesn't have the biggest budget, but he does shoot some flames out, I think, and he flies through the air. He's got turtle wings that, well, his flippers go into his body, and his head goes into his body, and then jets start firing out, and it starts spinning around. This is very, very silly, is what this is, because I think it was meant to be a children's thing. So let's bring it back down over here. Next up, we have Regio and Reija, and both kaiju exhibiting major control over lightning, such as summoning storms or generating it all over their bodies. Reija takes it further with energy orbs from his hands and a beam full of empowered electricity. Yeah, I think that's going to be a solid B for you right there. let's see here. Weaknesses, beings of equal or greater power. So you would have to be of equal or greater power to them in order to defeat them. And I think that's a good spot for them right there. Gorgo, on the other hand, um, that's a 1961 British science fiction film directed by Eugene Laurie and starring Bill Travers and William Sylvester. Now, this film shows Gorgo being pulled out or coming on land, and he's about the size of a 10-story building, I think, and winds up ravaging the place and the city. They wind up capturing him and putting him in a coliseum that he can't get out of, and he's crying out to somebody, and then all of a sudden his parent comes out of the ocean looking for him. And this Gorgo, the parent, um, the 10-story Gorgo comes to his, I think, kneecap or lower. It's tiny, tiny compared to this massive monster. So, if you're talking about the adult Gorgo or what the young Gorgo would wind up being, that's an A plus. That's an A monster right there. Pestar is actually pronounced Pesuta? No, Pesta. Pesta. Because I think the U is silent. It's a kaiju that fed upon oil and attacked several oil rigs to quench itself. After it was lured onto land, he was knocked out by the SSP. Later, he was destroyed by Ultraman, who proceeded to undo the damage Pestar had done. So Ultraman beat him. So I think he comes down here. The next one is Pulsari. Let me just do this real quick. I see we're doing that. Okay. Well, I don't hear the music, but I think it's playing. If it's playing, let's do this. Where are my notes at? Oh, yeah, right here. Pulsari is an epic kaiju film by Shin San-ok. He directed and produced it in 1985 during his abduction in North Korea. So this is the only North Korean film of a kaiju, and the Kim Jong Il wanted one of these for North Korea, and so they kidnapped the filmmaker and forced him to make this film until he subsequently escaped. So just based on that, I think Pulgasari, I think that's the name. Yeah, should be up here because that was quite the thing, quite the way of making the film. I think. Dangaria is an aquatic reptile that possesses characteristics of both a manta ray and a dragon. He has 3 horns on his head in a triangular arc and has 2 cannon-like structures on his shoulders that split open when he releases barams, whatever that is. Dagara has 2 wings, but they are folded when he is on land. When he is flying, his wings unfurl to about half his body length. So yeah, he's at least up here, but I think I'm going to move him back up here to this. And finally, we have Gappa in 1967, a Japanese kaiju film directed by Hayurasa Noguchi. I murdered the names. The film is about a group of Japanese reporters who discover an infant monster called Gappa on the obelisk island. The monster then grows up and starts destroying everything around them, and they have to take him down. So, yeah, that's a B tier, and I don't think any of them are S tier. But if the three of them would, three of these guys put together, may be able to take on Godzilla or somebody other. So we'll see how that works out, I guess. But that's that. So let's come back over here. Wait, let me do this.
He was a guy who flew in from New York.
Nope, nope, that doesn't help. Okay, whoops. Wrong one, wrong one. Okay, I'm back over here. So yeah, I think that about covers it. So we did that, and we talked about Blade and the reboot, and we talked about other things out there. So, do you have a favorite kaiju? Let me know in the comments, and we'll go on about that. But other than that, we've got a show coming up on Sunday, and we'll be talking about what's going to happen maybe at the WWE pay per view that's coming to Saudi Arabia. Crown Jewel. So far, they've got about maybe 4 matches, I think they've announced. They may have announced one more tonight on SmackDown. But yeah, we'll be doing a prediction of the matches against Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed, Cody Rhodes, and Gunther. And the women's champion, Nia Jax, versus the women's world champion, Liv Morgan, which should be a squash match, I think. So, yeah, 3 so far, and there may be a fourth coming. I don't know. But we'll do what we can when we can when it comes to predicting who's gonna do that. So yeah, join us on Sunday. See if there's we don't want to ever forget about the hurricane and the things that happened out there because people still need help. So you can do that. Quick reminder that we do have comic books. We are Rosales Comics, and we do have comic books available. Dynamo, the complete first issue, is available in segments at globalcomics.com. You can go there and look at that. The complete Avengers series is available for your pleasure. Also available right now in digital format on globalcomics.com. And we have available now for print on demand My Frankenstein. It was a 4-issue limited series. We now have it in graphic novel format, and you can find it available at rosalescomics.com. Find the link there, and you'll be able to go and print it on demand and get you one in the mail and hold it in your grubby little hands. So that's about it. That's all we got for you. So thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week.